Hello Internet, I'm Gracie and this is my 100th video. Okay, it's not really my 100th because a little known fact, I've been making videos for far longer than you can go back on my channel. This is the 100th video of me taking YouTube seriously though. Well, as seriously as you can take talking to a camera. Since this is a monumental landmark, yeah, I'll go with landmark, in my YouTube life, I decided to tell you a life-changing experience from my life before YouTube. The time I almost got arrested. I'll just give you a minute to let that sink in. Just let it sink right on in. You ready? In 8th grade, I was kind of a rebel. I wore skinny jeans and skate shoes and it was a dark time in my existence. Over Christmas break that year, I got my first guitar ever. It was electric and it was purple and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I invited my friends over so they could watch me play, but I wasn't very good. Still not very good. 4 years later, but it's besides the point. So we decided to go ding-dong ditching. All of my friends, besides one, were too wimpy to actually ring the doorbell though. So it was just me and this one other kid. After a few houses, our adrenaline was pumping. We felt like we could do anything. We were wrong. I was wrong, mostly. At our final conquest of a house, me and this kid took off running for the door. We were determined to get them good. They would open their door and there wouldn't be anyone there. Oh ho ho! It was a rich prank. Really layered and detailed. We spent a lot of time working on it. We pressed the button that sent an alarm into their living space and that was our cue to run. We booked it across their lawn, but not before my friend knocked down their scarf-wearing man of snow as one final act of teenage rebellion. Well, preteen rebellion. We were in 6th through 8th grade. My friend ran to the street, but I decided to run parallel to the sidewalk through the yard. My vision was failing, and it was either because I was blinded by the sheer tenacity of what we had just done, and the pure rush of our actions filled me with such horrifically maniacal pleasure that my brain couldn't register normal senses. Or it was winter and it was after 6 o'clock. I like to think it was the first reason. Either way, I couldn't see exactly where I was going. And apparently, they had a wall at the edge of their lawn because their driveway was several feet lower than their yard. I fell off the wall and I remember smashing my head on the pavement and watching my friends run down the street without me right before passing out. The next thing I remember, I was standing up and this woman was asking me if I was okay while her husband screamed in the background that he had called the cops. I didn't think he was serious, of course, until I heard the sirens and saw the lights coming down the street. I made an educated decision to stumble away from the events that had transpired. I did get away and I was sitting in my friend's living room, but I was also crying and asking where my hat was. In 8th grade, I had this hat that I wore all the time and it was black and it had ear flaps and it was just a really solid fashion choice. Here's a visual in case you needed some help picturing what I looked like when I was 14. My hat had apparently fallen off in my voyage to safety, so I sent the friends that had abandoned me in my time of need to go retrieve it as an act of, I can't think of the word, but they had to pay retribution. That's it. Solid. Keep going. Not even 5 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. It was my friends being escorted back to the house in a squad car. At this point in time, my head was throbbing. I physically could not see anything, like everything was blurry. And I was crying too hard to answer any of the questions that they asked me. This story does not end in any jail time, but it does end with my parents having to take me to the hospital, where we spent the next 6 hours of our night, and then being forced to write an apology note to the family, who had apparently told the police that I vandalized their house. I never did get my hat back. Alright, this has been a video. I'm sorry if the story is a bit of a letdown, but like, you should have expected it to be. I mean, every video I upload is, so like, I set the bar low. I love you, and I will see you next video.